Hi guys, this is Grant Nelson again here with the Mustache Off Grid YouTube channel. I actually shaved off my mustache recently. It was getting kind of hot out here and I cut my hair and shaved my mustache and just cleaned myself up temporarily. So it'll grow back, it'll be back in the future. But also my basketball hoop's been broken since springtime, and I'm going to fix it one of these days or get a new one. But I haven't had time to. I've been pretty busy, and that's part of the reason I haven't been putting out a bunch of videos. I've been working, and I'm not doing that now, so hopefully I'll have more videos to put out in the future here. And a couple of videos I'm going to be putting out is one on the early springtime out here and the projects I was working on at that time, one on right now, summertime, and you'll see it green up and the difference in, you know, the seed that I planted and everything like that, which to me was amazing, seeing the contrast between springtime and summertime. And also I'm going to make a video on Arkansas Gate and a video on okra, because I planted a bunch of okra. So I'll probably use the same intro in most of those videos just to make it a little easier, so you guys will know which one you clicked on based on the title. You know, I'll just get into it, and hope you guys enjoy the videos. Alright guys, I just figured I'd show you a little thing that I did here. It's kind of a cool little trick if you have sheep, goats, cattle, those kind of things. It probably wouldn't work that well for pigs. But I have this lane here going up from my gate up there down to my cars down here. And I have apple trees planted along the lane here. You can see the leaves are a little brown, but it is alive. There's these bugs that get on these and they eat them. There's two of the bugs right here. I kill them when I find them. But the trees will be okay. But them bugs come around. I don't spray. I don't use any fertilizer. So anyway, that's besides the point. Just figured I'd show you. I have this lane here between my two pastures. I have a pasture here and a pasture there. And I had this corner post here to give the sheep a little more grass. I kind of did an angle like that because there was some nice grass along my lane here. But what I did was I stapled some woven wire fencing into that corner post, and you know, I just had an extra roll, and I'm doing some more fencing down the hill. So I've got woven wire. I'm like, well, I'll take a little bit and just use it for something cool. And when I was working on the cattle farm, I saw this trick, and they take fence posts like this, and you know, they attach barbed wire to it, because they use all barbed wire for the cattle, but I don't use that for the sheep. But they'd use 3 or 4 strands of barbed wire, and they'd hook it to a post like this, and then they'd hook it into a corner post. But what I did was I just ran a fence post, and this was an old one that actually came on the property. It was just laying out there in the woods. And I took some of this, this is just called tie wire. I buy it at the farm store. It's $7 for a big roll, and it comes in handy for a lot of things out here if you want to connect things. But I figured I'd show you. I got this fence across here, and basically what I did was, you can see it's just laying down right now, but I put some of that tie wire down here real tight. You can probably barely see it, but it's right here where my hand's at. And basically what you do, you stick the bottom of the fence post, you see it down there, into that. You pull this, stick the bottom of the fence post into that wire down there. There, it's in there. And then you push it, and you can hook it into this other fence post. I just had the wire. Where did I set that other wire? Just a moment here, folks. Here it is. One's right in the grass. But anyway, you can see I hook it into that bottom one. And you can have it up here on your shoulder, or you can push it with your arm, or you can pull it. I'm just going to set this down for a second. And this is a different variation because I don't have one that I swing over the top of it. All right, but basically I hook it into this top part here. You can have one that swings over the top if you have a shorter post. I'm just using some of that metal wire here, and I pull it and then I just tie it around because I'm not going to be using this all the time. Just once in a while to clear my grass here and give the sheep a little extra feed and mow my lawn. But you can see it crosses the driveway here, and you've got yourself a little fence to keep the sheep in. And you know, it's not going to be a permanent fence, it's just a temporary gate, but you know, it's kind of a cool thing. You run it across the driveway, you hook it into this other post over here with that post, and then you've got a temporary fence just to keep the sheep in temporarily. It's a little loose, but obviously it's just temporary. It don't gotta be super tight. Actually, the fence up here, which is permanent fencing right here, I mean, it ain't much looser than this one. And this one is just hooked into this post here. When you hook it into a post, it's not going to be as tight as if you hook it into a corner post. If I put a wood post on that corner there, I could make that a lot tighter, that gate setup. But it's just very basic. You know, I don't need to put a corner post in there. You know, aesthetically it might look better, but it's just temporarily to give the sheep a little more grass. But on the cattle farm, they just did this with barbed wire instead, and they hooked barbed wire into that, and then they hook the post into the fence here, and then you've got a temporary barbed wire gate. And down here they call it an Arkansas gate. I've seen people online call it a Texas gate. But maybe also, I mean, maybe you've got a driveway and you don't want to buy a gate, you know, and you've got some old woven wire laying around. You know, this might actually be a decent option for you if you put 2 posts in your driveway and run this across, especially with the price of gates these days. I've seen gates, you know, at the store, you know, $100 plus. You know, the 16 footers, you're going to pay $100 at least. I mean, this setup right here, the corner post I got from a tree. This post, I think they're going for like $3 or $4. This post came with the property. And then you've got maybe 20 feet of wire. One of those rolls is, I think, like 100 some, but they're 300-foot rolls. So I mean, if you want to save some money, this can be an option. Give your sheep a little extra pasture. You know, this can be a, you know, option across the driveway or something like that. Or you could use it as a gate for a driveway, or there's lots of uses for it. But I just figured I'd show someone this little trick here. You know, and maybe someone might want to use it somewhere. Also, guys, when I'm not using the Arkansas gate, as they call it, all I do is set it up here against the other fence. I like to pull it tight here, and then I just wire it into the other fence. And, you know, that way my driveway, I can get in and out with my cars. but you can see here, just wiring it up. Now, goats will get out of this. Sheep will not get out of this. Or I mean, they can get out of it, but sheep don't try like the goats try. So just keep that in mind here, guys. But yeah, when I'm not using it, I just wire it into the fence there so it's out of the way, and you know, it's just there. And then when I rotate this pasture here and let the sheep, first I'm going to let them into that pasture down there, because I have this pen split in half. After they eat that down, I'll let them in here, because hopefully this will be growing up by then, because that's probably a month or two down the line. And when this is growing up, I'll just put that gate across for a couple days so they can eat this grass down as well. And also that way I don't have to mow. So I mean, there's a lot of benefits to putting that there. It's a little trick that I learned on the cattle farm that I was working on, and I just figured it might be a good solution for someone that doesn't want to buy a gate, wants to save a little bit of money, and is kind of a cheapskate. So which I am. So anyway, I like to buy things used. I like to use my brain to come up with creative solutions for things. And I just was looking here one day and I'm like, man, that's some tall grass along my driveway, and I don't want to have to weed eat it. I'm like, I'd love to have my sheep just in here, but all these apple trees that I have, I'm like, well, this is an option. That's a good idea. So I was like, I've got the wire right there. I already had it 10 feet away from the post. I'm like, well, I'll just cut it, tack it into this corner post here, and set up, you know, a temporary gate for when I move my sheep. So it was just a quick project. It didn't take me more than 10 minutes to put that up, but I just wanted to make a video on it to just show it to you guys. I kind of liked it. It was just a creative solution, and figured it might help someone save some money somewhere, or give someone a temporary fencing option for an area that might not have been useful before. See, because that area was useless to me before, but now it's useful. So anyway, hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and God bless. Sit, sit, come on, sit. Oh, good boy, good boy. Lay down, lay down. All right, good boy. Hey guys, let's make Bailey famous. Let's make Bailey famous. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mustache Off Grid. Hope y'all have a wonderful day, and God bless.